So today's tutorial is all about the GRT, which is like the Google of the blockchain. And I want to be able to stake with GRT. I didn't even know you could stake with GRT, but this is what I'm going to be doing. But we need our Metamask account. Look at previous videos. You can just download a Metamask account. It's very simple, and just keep hold of your seed phrase, which is your password. And I don't have enough Ethereum, because remember, all these things require Ethereum to work. So I'm going to buy some Ethereum. So on Coinbase is where I even get the GRT. And you can use my code down below to get Coinbase, and when you get Coinbase, you can earn rewards and get some free GRT just by watching 1-minute videos and things like that. So it's very good to join Coinbase, and there's other rewards you can get as well for some other tokens. But I want to buy, so not GRT, I'm going to change it to Ethereum. You could buy Ethereum straight on Metamask, but I've never done that, so I'm just used to Coinbase. Although Coinbase is more fees in a sense as well. You can look how their fees are generated, but I want 45, because right now, actually, the Ethereum gas fees are very low. This has sometimes been high for all the things I've been doing. This is the lowest I've ever seen in my life. So I think in the mornings, it is more cheaper, is what I've seen in the last 2 weeks. So let's see. So I'm going to buy Ethereum, so you can connect with Coinbase straight from your bank account. Telling me the Coinbase fee is £1.99, and I believe that the fee stays the same to up to like £1,000 before it changes or things like that. So sometimes you buying something small is not worth it. Buying big amounts, you're still going to get the same fee, kind of thing. It's a bit like credit cards will charge you the biggest they can compared to what is the smallest you're putting in, or what the percentage they will send for something else. Yeah. But let's see. So I'm going to buy the ETH. Then I'm going to have to send the ETH to my Metamask account. So Halifax, securing. Your payment is processing. It's successful. So that's quick. It's done easily. So now I want to send and receive. So I want to send my ETH. So I'm going to press Ethereum. It's already there. And I want to send all. Then I go to my Metamask account. This is my address. I copy that. Go to Coinbase. Press 2. Continue. Now when you send it, there's practically no fees. It's probably like 2p. Send now. So I want a 2-step verification code. So that's on Google Authenticator. Just like the banks have your little calculator to give you a random code for safety 053. Confirm. And I'm going to also go through what the GRT is all about. What to be wary of when you are choosing this staking pool, because there's different rewards. So that purchase was successful. Oh no, that was before. So I've sent GRT. Let's see if it's already hit my account. So this was $18. So we'll wait for that. But while we're waiting for that, let's see what is the GRT about. So we've got here. So this is where actually to stake. But before that, let's have a look at what GRT is about in the whole process. So the Graph GRT is an Ethereum token that powers the Graph, a decentralized protocol for indexing and querying data from blockchains. Just as Google indexes the web, the Graph indexes blockchain data from networks like Ethereum and Filecoin. This data is grouped into open APIs called subgraphs. Now that probably sounds confusing, but I'm going to go through the different words, what indexing is, which is just like asking a question. Querying actually is like asking a question, trying to receive things from the database. And indexing is just searching, organizing how the data is shared and received and things like that. But we'll go through it a little bit. APIs are just like a system on how you process work, but normally it's manual. A process workflow is manual. How I do this, how I do that. But this is all automated APIs. But let's have a look. And the key with this, why I like this, because think about back in the day when internet came. Imagine if you invested in Google then. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, imagine you invested it early on when the first came. Imagine what would happen now. Blockchain is all new. So many people are saying, oh, it's this, it's that, but blockchain's all new. And on top of that, there's no way you can go to search data easily because it's all new. So the graph, the utility is about being able to search data and use data and be the Google of the blockchain. There's no better marketing than that, the Google of the blockchain. So to me, they're very promising, and watching them all, I've been watching them, they've been doing really well. Let's even look actually. So if we go here, we can see, let me write GRT. So the graph, they're ranked 40 already, and they only came like maybe 5 months ago. Let's see. So in 30 days, they're 119% up. In 3 months, so when they launched, so if people that managed to get in the private sale, they've already done a 16x, so they're 1,641. There's currently a discount here, so minus 36% down from the all-time high 22 days ago, because for the last 2-3 weeks, the stock market's been down, the crypto's been down, it's all been correlated. Let's see. So yeah, it's now on my MetaMask. I've received that. So now to stake, we go to the network, the graph. But what we see here, so there's indexes and delegators. So before we get to that, because you have to worry about what the query fee is, because that's what they'll be getting, and what the effective reward. Because you can see they're saying they'll get that 10 point. Yeah, some people saying 100%. So if you stake in these pools, you'll get nothing. So you need to watch what these things are saying. But let's go back and look at the graph. So we know that the Google of the blockchain. We know querying is just asking a question about something, especially in order to express one's doubt, but that's the normal way. But a database query is a way of requesting information from database. A database query can be either a select query or an action query. So just selecting data from a blockchain. And then indexing is the process by which search engines organize information before a search enables super fast responses to queries. So the graph is just about organizing things, making it easy, super fast for people, but it's on the blockchain. Now Google uses reverse index, and there's different types of index, but the graph, they use what they call, the graph network is a decentralized indexing protocol for organizing blockchain data. Applications use GraphQL to query open APIs called subgraphs to retrieve data that is indexed on the network. Now, in a nutshell, GraphQL is a syntax that describes how to ask for data and is generally used to load data from a server to a client. It lets the client specify exactly what the data it needs. So this is all just about data, being able to search it. You don't really need to know the details. They're the Google of the blockchain, but I'm just looking at the data. And what's interesting, so what is API? So how does the graph fit into this DeFi and Web3? And I'll explain Web3. DeFi is decentralized finance, so it's all about being able to get finance from without no one controlling, no banks and stuff. Globally, we can just send money to each other. So that's the future of making finance fair and global. So there's a new evolution, DeFi. We had a Bitcoin evolution, everything linked to Bitcoin was pumping. Had an Ethereum evolution, everything linked to Ethereum was pumping. Now in DeFi revolution, anything that's offering DeFi and possibilities to get money and raise liquidity, it is pumping. So now, and before Web2 actually is what the normal internet now we have, which is probably more owned by big companies, and for you to use it, they're taking your data and all these stuff and the problems with that. And Web3 is a decentralized. But API is a term that you definitely hear a lot if you work technology, but it's not necessarily one that everybody understands. API stands for Application Programming Interface. In simplest terms, an API is a workflow process that is automated. So just how you work, the process how you work, but it's automated instead of manual. This hides the hard complexity of the code behind a simple API. Subgraphs are a term coined by the graph, and they are open APIs. So it's just about open APIs. For example, Uniswap, which is the exchange for Ethereum, the biggest one, uses a subgraph, and that data is open to any developer to use in their application. Thus, we see wallets like Rainbow Wallet that have built a subgraph that pulls from Uniswap subgraph. The most efficient way to query search data from the blockchain is via subgraph. An example of a closed APIs is LinkedIn. So you all know LinkedIn's APIs, where you cannot port the data from LinkedIn to Crunchbase or your own application because the API is closed. You're not going to share the information about people and their data because it's closed, whereas blockchains are public information as well. With the graph, APIs are guaranteed to be and remain open via subgraphs. So you can read more about that, but Let's move on. So Web2, like I said, Web2 refers to the version of the internet most of us know today, an internet dominated by companies that provide service in exchange for your personal data. Web3, in the context of Ethereum, refer to decentralized apps, dApps, that run under blockchain. So this is about, we believe things are going to move from Web2 to Web3 is the whole point, is the whole future is going to be blockchain. So now, when it comes to picking, so on here, to be able to become an indexer, and let's actually look a bit more what indexing is. So how this graph works actually. So delegating on the graph is not comparable to delegating any other delegating proof of stake such as Tezos or Comos, because here they got query fees. The price of query fees varies and is subject to the cost of indexing the subgraph, query demand, market rate for blockchain data, and the amount of curation signal. Hence, but we don't need all that. Not all indexes provide a service for each and every subgraph, so different indexes might work on different subgraphs. However, indexes seek to provide their services for subgraphs that are frequently used because that earns them more query fees. So the reason people will be indexes is about getting the query fees when they're doing the work for the system. They get fees for that, and that creates GRT. Basically, they're getting paid with GRT, with the tokens. Now, indexes rewards. Index rewards are newly issued tokens that enter the supply with each epoch. The initial issuance rate is set to 3%. Each subgraph in the network is allocated a share of the total network token output based on the proportional amount of the total curation signal the respective subgraph has. Rebate pool. For every transaction, a rebate pool on the protocol, a fee is collected and allocated to the rebate pool. These fees are then redistributed to the participant as a function of their proportional stake and proportional fees collected to the network. Now, the rebate ratio is good. It indicates the balance between queries served and rebate fees collected by the indexer. This indicates the index's efficiency, also referred to as stake efficiency. Now, delegating on the graph. As a GRT holder, you can choose to contribute to the security of the network. So me as a normal person, because bear in mind, the indexer requires a bit of knowledge. So indexer, you need to know what you're doing. So here we see indexers are node operators on the graph network that stake graph net tokens in order to provide indexing. And we looked at what indexing was, and query processing services. Indexing can earn query fees and indexer rewards for their services. So technical level is advanced. You need to know what you're doing. Whereas a delegator, I can just, by sharing what I've got to the indexer's pool, they get more chance of being able to work. They get more they're able to do more, because the more you stake. With proof of stake, it's a linear relationship. The more you stake, the more you're able to earn, and the more queries you'll be able to do and things like that. But so, to best align incentives of indexes and their delegators, there's a limit of how much delegated stake an indexer can accept in relation to the indexer's own stakes. This is what I was saying. So that indexer always has sufficient skin in the game. This limit is referred to as indexer's max capacity. So, and remember, to the whole point of this, when those that are indexers, what they have can be slashed, but what you give them can't be slashed, because if they're doing things badly or wrongly, their stake can be slashed. So that's what keeps the network safe. The fact people are working hard, putting their money into the network as security, but if they do things wrong, they have the chance of losing some of their money. So it's incentivizes people to do the correct thing and work quick and do all of that. So it's great. But you don't have to worry about your money. It can't be slashed. But you have to also be aware, when you unstake, there's a 28-day period before your funds become liquid, before it becomes money again. It's a throwing period. So bear that in mind. But we also see there's a calculator here, and overall, so you can go to staking rewards and shows you different places to stake. But overall, it's basically a 6% API for a year. So remember, this is all about, I've got GRT, if it's sitting on my Coinbase, although it can go up and down, whatever, it's doing nothing. But I can earn rewards. So this is the point of DeFi. I can earn rewards by staking it, giving it to this indexer to use it for his pool so he can do more work, get more money. And while he's getting more money, I'll get more money. So averagely, because remember people have different rates that they're offering, averagely 6%. So if I put 1,000 GRT there, I can get monthly 5 GRT. It's only $9 or $108 in a year, but all adds up and it's doing something for nothing while I'm trying all these new systems and stuff. So remember, so I needed my Metamask account. It's got the Ethereum for the gas fees. Ethereum gas fees right now are looking very small. So I should do less talking. Let me start doing it while it's still small. Let's see how much it is now. So it's still exactly the same. And you go into the network, the graph. Now the key, like I said, some of these people are actually keeping all the money. They're not going to give you none. So you don't want to be in this pool. But what I found out was a company called, or validator rather, called Ryabina. So Ryabina. Yeah, they're validators. Now validators, did I delete it? So validators like in every other blockchain. So a validator on a blockchain, just like a banker, it verifies every incoming transaction. The transaction will only be completed on the blockchain when it has been verified by the validator. Validators assign the duty to verify transactions to whether or not they are legal and accurate. Every POS, so proof of stake, blockchain network is constituted of more than a single validator based upon the system requirements. Whenever transactions are broadcasted, all network validators or some validate the transaction to be legitimate, and then the validated transaction are placed into the blockchain. So remember, the blockchain is just like a ledger deciding the count. So each block is saying, yes, we agree that this can happen or didn't happen. The transactions did go through and things like that. So the point of all this being decentralized, not one person validators, not one person controls everything. And because it's a proof of stake now, the more chance you can help the system and be validated and nodes is the more staking you've put in there, and other people have to agree with what you're saying as well. So this is how it all works, computerized. So it's very good. But this is why when I'm picking which pool to stake my GRT, I found out about these people, because the next part you have to worry about, if you didn't choose one of these trusted ones, these people can also at any point change their rewards. So even though you went in there and said, oh, they're only keeping this much and they're sharing the rest with the community, they could change that to say they're keeping everything. So, but where companies different, they wouldn't do that. They're most likely less to do that because they want to keep their customers. And the Ryabina people, they stake and validate on many places. So Awesome Networks, Polkadot, Kasuma, CeeLo, The Graph, Kava, Band. So they're a company. They want more customers to help them. They carry on staking, everyone wins. So they're less likely to do that. So where I can find them, so you can find, so in this article, RyabinaMedium.com, where it explains some of the fees, you can just add. So if I look at the Ethereum address, probably can search the name, but I just went for the whole address. Go back to the network, The Graph, and I can search for them. So I can see, yes, they're offering, they're only keeping 16% and 9%. So I'm going to use this one, but I forgot. I'm also going to send my GRT to my Metamask account. So I need to send GRT. So I want to do 1,000. I'm just going to write 1,001. And I'm sending to my Metamask account. Remember, when you're sending things here, make sure you have copied it exactly. Because if you type in it and you make any mistake, then you will lose all of that. So I should have sent this earlier, actually. So I've sent that. Or it's sending. Two-step verification. So 893030. Confirm. And you can check my other videos. So my other videos have showed how I'm doing layer 2, so Matic and Quick Swap. I've also done one on Bondly and using Launch Pool to stake. I've also done one with YFDAI with their airdrop, which any day now, yeah, I think by the 9th of March, they'll do a snapshot on those that have YFDAI. And I've used SafeSwap as well. They've got airdrop coming. Ages ago, I did XRP airdrop, still waiting for the tokens. And actually, I've got some update XRP coming in the new video because a lot has happened. XRP court cases and things like that, but a lot has happened. So that's sent. Let's see if I've received it. Let me see. Sometimes I have to add the token. So to add a token, I can go to CoinGecko, click this button, add to my Metamask account. Add token. Cancel that. You could have added address there as well. So it's there. We'll wait for it to receive from Coinbase. So here, I'm deciding I'm using this one. So I'm going to click here to delegate because I'm delegating my money to them. So in my wallet, I'm going to click all. It's not come yet. So while we wait, let's recap. So remember, prior to the graph, developers had to spin up a centralized servers and database in-house in order to index and query blockchain data. This was time-consuming for engineers, costly, and created risk, since centralized infrastructures can be a single point of failure. With the graph, applications only need to reference an API endpoint. Remember, API is just like an automated workflow process endpoint for a subgraph to begin querying data, such as using Uniswap subgraph to query trade volumes. By making it easier for developers to interact with blockchains, the graph is making it easier to build new applications and track valuable data. Using the graph, developers can focus on having great user experience, UX/UI, as opposed to building custom back-end infrastructure for each application. Now, I don't know if this was an old paper, but it says over 6,000 developers are actively using the graph. Now, how does the graph work? Ethereum, the graph has built an open data layer on top of Ethereum to make it easy for developers to pull information and serve that information to their users quickly and efficiently. Subgraphs abstract interacting with Ethereum's JSON code and API for reading blockchain data, and with the subgraph features like mutations right into the blockchain will be simplified as well. Now, they believe waterfall from Web2 to Web3. So remember, we believe there's going to be everyone leaving this main internet that we know today into the decentralized internet language created by a commonly used in Web2. Many developers can onboard into Web3 space and easily build on blockchains. As subgraph usage continues to rise and blockchain developer tooling improves, we will continue to see a waterfall effect from centralized Web2 technology companies to decentralized Web3 applications. The crypto economy is a radical new imaging of the future of work. Open protocols like the graph are creating the foundation for transparency and opportunity. So we looked at what index and delegate and curate as well. We only care about index and delegators for now. Consumers, we know they just use it as a token and can find information. So if you want to query things, you can use your GRT tokens and stuff. And it's all about being a community, but it's also part of the Ethereum blockchain. So let's see. Sometimes it can take a while. Well, for me, it hasn't taken a while yet. But so I might pause the video and then come back when that's ready. So actually, I see why it's taking long, because when you do a bigger amount, it has a security feature, Coinbase, that would make it take 72 hours. But to make it go faster, you can click to cancel it. Then here you can accelerate with a photo ID. So I'm going to sort that out and be back. So we're back. That didn't take too long actually. So I've received my GRT. So we are here as it connected. So I want to click all. Let me refresh this page. So remember, you meant to connect your wallet here. So connect wallet. Sometimes it connects automatically. Connected. Now I'm going to have to find, I wanted Ryabina. Have I lost the one I wanted to use? Oh yeah, so this address. Search. So I wanted them. Click to delegate. in my wallet, put in all, submit transaction. And there is also, like I said, so there's an Ethereum fee. So this one, confirm. Then there's also this little one-off fee. So you pay a one-time fee equal to 0.5% of all your stake for delegating, and these tokens are burnt. Now, why tokens are burnt is to help with inflation. Where is it? Yeah, why are tokens burnt? Coin burn is the process by which digital currency miners and developers can remove tokens or coins from circulation, thereby slowing down inflation rates or reducing the total circulating supply of coins. And a new video, actually, I'm going to talk about Ethereum's token burn, because Ethereum is one where they have unlimited coins compared to limited Bitcoin that only has 21 billion or something. Ethereum has unlimited, but how they can, in their monetary policy, how they can keep inflation down is by the token burning. They have a big burning coming, I believe, in July, but I'll update you guys on that soon. But I can see here Metamask here has another. I've got this one as well to confirm. So this might be the transaction fee. Let's have a look. Yes, it's not too bad, gas fee. You could edit it to become fast. I'm just going to risk it and leave it as average and click confirm. Keep the fees down. See how long that takes. So if I click here, I can see it's pending. If I click, I can go to Scan and see how the contract details. So it's pending. It says between 2 minutes and 12 minutes. You can see from my address, it's going to this address. Let's see if that's the same one here. 0xBB, or is it going to the network? Or is it interacting with this? That might be the network graph address, and then they will send it to Ryabina. Let's see. So in my wallet, it might have gone now. It says in my wallet gone. Your delegation. So 996. I think we are done. So indexing reward cut. Effective indexing query fee cut. Delegation available. So my delegation. So I've lost like 5 GRT in the process. So we can see. So remember, the whole point of stake is earning yield, but it's not financial advice, because you no longer have it in your wallet. It's now in this people's wallet. And then with this one as well, compared to all my other ones, there's the fact it'll take 28 days before it come back to me as well. The other ones I've done, there's just a little fee if you unstake early, but straight away it'll come back into your account. But interesting times, because before my GRT was sitting there doing nothing. So at least now, best case scenario, it'll be going up in price. Plus I'm getting this little, there's 6% APY. But if we recognize the banks are only offering 0.5s and 0 point stuff like this, so 6% is a lot. It's just because I'm in the stock market and stuff, and there's been crazy returns, especially under the Trump administration, that we might be forgetting. Technically, just getting 20% a year is good. Getting over 5% a year is good compared to the banks. Bonds were only offering like 3%, 4%, and even them are not offering that so much no more. So this is now the good thing, DeFi.